The GST, it seems, may have gone for a toss, even as the BJP and the Congress are veering towards a consensus over India's most ambitious tax reform. The hopes of a smooth passage of the bill have indeed been dashed. A Delhi court's decision to summon Congress President Sonia Gandhi and her son Rahul in the National Herald case has come as a big deal breaker, with the Congress pointing the fingers at the BJP, stating it is nothing but a deep-rooted political conspiracy. Vice President Rahul Gandhi called it vendetta politics. Even senior leader Anand Sharma said that the GST bill may have gone for a skywalk.
The bonhomie quickly vanished, with Finance Minister Jaitley daring the Congress for a debate. In exclusive chat with Times Network, Jaitley said there are serious criminal charges against the Gandhis. An accusation of political vendetta isn't an answer for that. The FM also appealed that the Congress should not block the GST only because of a court action involving the Gandhis. With the battle lines drawn in Parliament, the fate of the winter session hangs in balance. It's now or never for GST, and as the standoff continues, India's biggest tax reform may head back to cold storage yet again. That is our top story on Business Tonight.
Loud sloganeering in the House and a protest rally outside. The Congress and the BJP once again on war path. Less than 2 weeks after the famous Tea Party, the conciliatory notes have made way for confrontation. And at the center of the controversy is a defunct newspaper, the National Herald. Immediately after the court order, which asked the Gandhis to appear on December 19th, and amidst the Herald's heat, Sonia invoked Indira. And son Rahul cried foul, alleging political vendetta.
Do you see a political vendetta?
I'm asking you, Rahul.
I absolutely see a political vendetta. This is the way the central government functions. This is the way they think. So they think they can, do this type of vendetta politics and make me stop asking questions about them. That's not going to happen. I'm going to keep asking exactly the questions I've been asking. I'm going to put pressure on the government, and I'm going to continue to do my job.
Amidst political vendetta charges on one side and criminal conspiracy on the other, it seems the goodwill and the positive talk around the GST has waned. After all, the attack is against the Gandhis themselves, who allege that Subramanian Swamy is a BJP member and has the blessings of the top leadership. So the question is, has GST been held hostage once again? Political experts don't see the Congress throwing its weight behind the GST reform, while its leaders are being grilled in the court. As far as the BJP is concerned, it cannot shy away from the corruption charges levelled by Subramanian Swamy, even as it tries to build a consensus. But the probability of the GST bill going through has certainly reduced, unless good economics can trump bad politics. Supriya Srinath, ET Now, New Delhi.
This is hypocrisy of the highest order, abuse of the agencies of the state. Where there are open cases of money laundering, you protect, and where there is a charitable trust, you target.
Member of a party which has ruled this country for almost half a century or more thinks like that, and goes to the extent of questioning the independence and the discretion of a judicial judgment. And this is also a reflection of the subconscious mindset of the Congress party.
And the way that the BJP in the last year or so has been targeting the leaders of the Congress party suggests that since they have no idea how to govern this country, they seem to want to distract the attention of the people.
We are not in the picture at all. It is entirely a court process. Congress party complainant की बात कर रही है, लेकिन एलिगेशन क्या है इस पर कुछ नहीं बोल रही. इसलिए ये सीधा प्राइमा फेशिया एक क्रिमिनल ब्रीच ऑफ ट्रस्ट का मामला बनता है.
मैं कुछ ना कुछ बहाना बना के पार्लियामेंट को नहीं चलने देना, ये किसी के लिए भी अच्छा नहीं है. न्यायपालिका का आदेश पार्लियामेंट में क्वेश्चन करना, ये न्यायपालिका का अवहेलना है, अपमान है.
तमाम विपक्षी दलों को इस देश में खत्म करने का प्रयास, वो प्रयास अभी तक बराबर जारी है और उसी के विरोध में हम डिक्टेटरशिप के खिलाफ और तानाशाही के खिलाफ इस सदन में, दोनों सदनों में अपना विरोध प्रकट कर रहे हैं.
Okay, let's take that story forward and try and find out from two very eminent economists on the road ahead for GST. Joining us on the show this evening, Lord Meghnad Desai and Arvind Virmani of the Centre for Policy Research. Thank you so much for talking to ET now, gentlemen. Professor Desai, I'm going to start with you. What do you make of the confrontationist tone that we're now again seeing between the opposition and the government over the National Herald case? This is right after the Chai Pe Charsha that we saw that many believed could pave the way for the rollout for the GST. What's your view now?
The Prime Minister has been reaching out. I think the winter session has started, and not just because of the Bihar defeat. I think the government has realized that having majority in Lok Sabha doesn't really help you either way. You have to make a deal with the opposition. In India, legislation requires consensus. We very seldom have voting. So, Prime Minister reaching out. Now, I think the timing of the Herald judgment is just pure accident. And it will obviously put up the backs of the Congress. They will suspect that this is planned. But I don't think nobody could have fixed the timing of the High Court decision. I think the Congress should realize that this is with the judiciary, not with the executive, and you just let go.
Professor Desai, do you believe the consensus that seemed to be building around the GST in the last 2 odd weeks is perhaps tougher to achieve now, with Congress alleging political vendetta and the government hitting back with equal aggression? They're not mincing words either.
You know, yesterday was the first day the Rajya Sabha worked for the whole day without any breakup. And it was looking like, normal business would resume. And I was certainly very hopeful yesterday when I was talking to some of the Delhi politicians. Now, I think this is a short blip. This will go away in a day. This is not going to stay very much there because, ultimately, Supreme Court will say whatever the Supreme Court says and we'll go back to square one. They'll get a bail or they'll get an adjournment and it'll go on another long grass, another 6 months, and we'll be back. But all that has happened is that the government has now got a counter weapon to Congress talking about VK Singh and the dog analogy.
All right, so as somebody who's right here in New Delhi and has seen the twists and turns on this GST, Dr. Virmani, do you believe consultation and conciliation and the overtures and gestures that were being made to woo the opposition on one hand and the opposition willing to budge also has perhaps given way to a lot of confrontation? Both sides very, very aggressive in New Delhi?
So very quickly, let me put this in perspective. Right from the beginning, 2 weeks ago or something, we spoke about it, and it was clear that there are two parts to this whole issue of GST. One is the economic and the other is the political. So I gave a 50-50 total probability for this session, partly because the economics of it is actually very easily solvable. If you ask any economist, and whether he's a Congress economist or some other economist, that issue can be resolved. So really, right from the start, the underlying issue was the politics of it, and applying a kind of economic incentive argument to it. The question was whether it is in the interest of the Congress to go forward and let the GST bill pass or not. What has happened now is that balance between the benefits and costs to the Congress party seems to have changed dramatically because of this case. So in economic terms, that's how I would explain the politics. Now, given that this incentive has changed, I would say it becomes very problematic. I don't think that given the benefits now to the Congress, as I said, the cost benefit ratio has changed so much that I doubt very much that a political understanding can be reached which will change this calculus. I mean, we know historically that there have been many cases. I don't want to equate the case because I really don't know much about the specific cases, but there have been, before cases against Mulayam Singh, many others, and there has always been some what appeared from outside to an outside observer, some kind of a deal to get things forward.
But Professor Desai, this at the end of the day isn't a political issue, but the two sides are taking this very personally because it's the reputation of the Gandhi family at stake. Do you now expect the Congress to concede and let the GST pass in Rajya Sabha? Do you see it happening? What's your view?
Congress was about to let the GST pass until this judgment came out. Congress was about to. It's all almost cooked up from what I gather. Now, this will postpone it by a couple of days. I don't think this is going to be serious. The only thing why they think is vendetta is because who initiated the case. But Subramanian Swamy is not controllable by either BJP or any other party. He does what he does, and he's a man who has a long memory in this respect. I think they should regard this as a Subramanian Swamy problem, not a BJP problem.
All right, Dr. Virmani, let you have the last word in this quick debate. Do you expect the GST to go through in the winter session of Parliament? What are the chances according to you?
Very tough question. As I said 2 weeks ago, I gave it a 50% probability. I generally don't change my probabilities at every event. Over the last week, people pushed it up like a kite and said it's almost 75%, 100%. Now one could say it's down to 25%. Yes, I think that the political part of it has become more difficult. So perhaps I would marginally decrease my probability from 50% to 40%.
All right, so that probability decreasing there. Professor Desai and Dr. Virmani, thank you very much for being with us right here in Business Tonight on ET Now to discuss what is the game-changing legislation.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNow Live. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.